Here's a collection of curious objects, very strange and different colours, but they're what I call what's-its. It's a short way of saying what is it for, why was it made, what's its purpose, what does it do? Most of them I've got no idea at all, but just to inspire you I really tell you what this one is because I bought it and I've got the label for it. But the other ones I've never, they were just given to me as gifts, or ones on loan in fact, but there's no instructions to say what they do, and I'm baffled by them. So at the end I'll give you the instructions. Let me just tell you about this one then, which I do know. It's very odd. It's a piece of rubber with holes in it. It's got a plastic end there, and it's got a plastic bitty there. It's got a little yellow stuff inside, which turns out to be, when you squeeze it, you realise it's foam rubber. And the clue I'll give, which I think would be fair, because otherwise it's so mystifying, is you put it into water for about 20 seconds and take it out again. And then you use it. What for? Have a think about that when I show you these other curious objects to which I haven't got an answer. This one I did, well, I've showed all these except one, but this is something I've had a partial solution to it, which makes me think, yes, there's something going on there. I'm going to put my glasses on for this, because it's a very curious, a couple of silver balls, they're both the same thing, they spin nicely, but they've got little funny little windows which open up when you turn them, and when you pull these open, which I'm going to try doing, there's a thing inside which is a little more of a clue, perhaps. No, that one won't work, I'll do this one here, which suggests it's something to do with washing. That's my suggestion. There's a little cotton ball sits inside, and when these things swivel, they have a point in which they're showing quite a lot of connection with the outside air with the little windows, and then the windows close over. But what is it for? Apart from spinning around and around and around, what's its purpose? So have a little think. So that's unknown. The second one, that's a rather pretty little thing. Just all it says is WIN on it, W-I-N, on both sides. One side's black, one side's white. I do notice it's slightly wider at the top, the actual ring around it, slightly narrower there. It spins very nicely. I thought it was just a toy. You did that to it. That's quite bad. And of course it spins on that side, and it spins on this side. But I don't think it's just spinning. It looks more purposeful, some purpose to it. But I can't see it, and I can't find it, and I haven't found out. So help with that one. These next two have movements to them, which is very interesting. This one, for instance, extraordinary detailed thing. It's plastic here where the finger goes through there, and this puts down. And here you've got a little, quite a sharp, quite narrow bit of metal there, forming a triangle, and through it comes this thing here, which has got a sharp pin on the end. I don't want to hurt my finger there. And I put a bit of paper through there, and it sort of punched a slight sort of semi-triangular hole, but not all the way through. It didn't cut it out or make a triangle space in it or hole. It was just odd. I feel paper's involved, but I just don't know why that's being made. It looks vaguely like my de-stapler things, but it's not nearly strong enough. You've got to have a lot of force to lift metal staples out of the paper when you de-stapleize or something. But it's that sort of thing I'm beginning to feel, but it's something much more delicate as a touch, and it's unknown. So any help with that one? Looks maybe like a part of a pair of scissors, isn't it? This one also does some movement to it. It's black and red. That's just my label where I keep it in my collection. And the movement here is, I put the finger there and finger there, which is quite nice. And this bit here moves. It goes from there to there. And that's all it does. From there to there. So what? Why? I can't take it any further. Oh, it does come out. Goodness, I haven't done that before. Anyway, any ideas why someone's made anything like that? The label again is just my label of where I locate it. And since these were given to me by a friend who loves recycling things, he finds them usually in bins and things which he loves recycling, and there's no instruction with it. So he didn't know what it was he's given me, so he knew that I loved collecting things that make you scratch your head and thinking, what was that made for? I have no idea. This one is a new one. Well, it's on loan to me actually by a friend of mine who collects this sort of stuff. It's quite interesting. It's got a soft, rather pretty rubber bulb top bit. The middle bit at the bottom is actually, I worked out, it's not glass, it's plastic. There's a large hole at the top with a screw thread and a smaller hole at the bottom. And I suppose if you put it into water or something, would you be able to pick up a sample of something like that and then swish like that? Well, that's its fate, isn't it? So I'm baffled by that one and can't think what it's for, and I'd love to get an answer from you. The last one is this one here. It's my favourite. I think it was the first one I was given. Very purposeful looking thing. It's got a plastic base. It's got 7 of these little spring pieces. When you push this down, this is what happens. They spread like that. Someone vaguely thought when I first showed this about 10, 20 years ago, I think, on the website, that it was something for mothers trying to get their children who are the tiny infants being bottle fed to get the teat which goes on the bottle for the child to widen so they can slip it on. But it's far too big for that, actually. Small teats are much smaller than that. So on the other hand, I could put balloons in there, but I don't need to stretch. I just put my hand and stretch the balloon if I want to put it over something like that. It's got a very purposeful look to it, and that again is just my little label, but no other signs about who made it and what it's for, and I'm baffled by that one. So there we are. Those are the ones that really bother me. Just in case you have a chance to think about this one, I'll tell you the answer to this one, which is very obscure. I bought it in Amsterdam, and have you ever heard of a base humidifier? No. And something which has got a humidifier detector which gives a chart and readings. You put it into water, you shake it out, you clean it up, and then you put it into your double bass, which is one of those gigantic things bigger than the cello, the thing you stand up to and play with a violin, like a gigantic violin. It's very important to keep it at the right moisture level, otherwise the wood warps. If it dries out or gets too moist, then it gives trouble and perhaps even starts cracking. So it's very important to look after a musical instrument like a double bass and get it to the right level of humidity, not too wet and not too dry, a bit of both, and this is what this thing is for. Obscure. I feel some of these aren't quite so obscure, but I still don't know what they are, so here's a little test. See how you do.